Hey guys, it's your girl Tash. To all my subscribers, big up on yourself. You don't know up. So guys, in this tutorial, I will be demonstrating to you all how I use my grip game to achieve the pop smoke, side braid, side cornrows as you may know it on this client who is suffering from hair loss issues in the crown of the head. So usually I don't do the side braids, side cornrows on hair that has issues in the crown because I don't want to put too much pressure on the affected area. I don't want to apply too much tension onto that to cause any more damage or any further hair loss. So I'm going to be demonstrating to you all in this video how I use my grip game Afro straight hair extension to cover over the hair loss without causing any tension or any further damage to the client's hair. So first thing is first, I have to get my center part in the center of the head, and this is usually very challenging if you don't have practice. It's the hardest thing to get the center part in the center of the head, and it is important to get this composition correct because obviously you don't want the braids to look too lean on one side and not even in the center of the head. And it is very important when you're doing the side braids, side cornrows, to have that composition correct. Anyways, I haven't recorded the full tutorial because I just wanted to focus on the affected area. So I just wanted to show you all how I do this. So as you see, I just jump right in and I'm feeding the hair in. But before I started feeding the hair in, I created a knot at the top just to secure my braid because the client's hair texture is very, very soft. His hair texture is soft, is straight, and with that thinning area in the crown, it makes it very difficult to attach the braid. And obviously, I want the hairstyle to last long. So usually the hairstyle lasts up to a month because cornrow braids in itself usually last up to a month. And if the hair texture is soft, it doesn't last as long as 1 month. Sometimes it goes for like 3 to 4 weeks. Between 3 to 4 weeks, you have to take it out, depending on how soft the hair texture is. So the softer the hair texture is, the easier the braids loosen out. So with his hair texture is a 3C. So his hair texture is similar to 3C. It's a lot softer than the 4A hair texture, definitely softer. So anyways, as I get further into the crown of the head, I'm just gonna demonstrate to you guys again what I did before, because obviously I didn't start recording the tutorial until I got to this stage because I really just wanted to focus on this, which is the crown of the head. So you guys can see how I section out the extensions and how I make my knot at the top. So I've sectioned out the extensions and I'm making my knot at the top, and I'm gonna secure that knot before I start feeding the hair in. Okay, so I'm feeding more extensions in, and I'm gonna continue to feed the extension in until I get the density that I want my braid to have. So for me, it is important that all the braids have a similar density, except for the two braids at the front of the head at the hairline. Those two braids are usually a lot thinner than the rest of the braids. So as you can see so far, the braids have the same density. It's almost impossible to tell that he had hair loss issues in the crown, and it's just because of how I section out the hair and obviously the way that I feed the hair in to create that equal density going across. so all the other braids have the same kind of density as the braid, as do the braids I created in the center of the head. They all have the same density, so it's hard to tell where the hair loss was, or it's hard to tell if there was any hair loss at all in the crown of the head. So as I said, I don't usually make side braids when the hair loss is this much inside the crown and the hair is very thin as well, because that can cause more damage if I'm not careful. So if it's your first time or you're a beginner at this, I would say practice on a doll. Just practice your gripping, practice your feeding braid method before attempting to braid on hair that is very thin, because hair that is very thin and short is very, very sensitive. And if you're not careful, you can cause more damage to the hair, whereby the hair can get thinner, or the client might have shedding afterwards. So because I've been doing this for over 25 years and I have the experience, I kind of just go through it as if it's easy, but it's not so easy. It is quite difficult to do if you don't have that kind of experience. It looks like it's easy, but it's not easy, because if you grip the hair too tight, the client will feel a lot of discomfort in that area, because a lot of guys who suffer from hair loss issues, especially in the crown, they feel a lot of sensitivity. So that area is always sensitive. So whenever I get to that area where there isn't enough hair in the crown, I always have to take my time to grip it, and just to make sure that there's not a lot of tension in that area. And this is the technique that I usually use, and that's just my feeding braid technique, whereby I create the knot at the top of the head just to secure the extensions onto it, just to make sure that it doesn't slip and it doesn't slide. So I have other feeding braid technique that I use, but I would have to have a full head of hair for me to start feeding the braid in, for me to start braiding the hair naturally before feeding it in. But even though I created the knot at the top, you can barely see that there's a knot there. And this is the beauty of it, is creating that knot with the extension so thin and so small that once you start to build up on the density, once you start to feed more and more hair in, you won't, or nobody won't be able to see that there's a knot at the top. So just looking at the video and just talking you through it, I can see that, it doesn't look like there's no knot at the top. Obviously, I did it, so I know that there's a knot, and you're watching me doing it, so you know that there's a knot. But it's not obvious, and it won't be obvious to other people that there is a knot there at the top of the braids, because it looks so natural. And this is always my aim when it comes to men that are experiencing thinning hair loss issues. My aim is to always make the braids look as natural as possible. I don't want it to look any kind of obvious that the client is wearing extensions, because I do this to build confidence. And a lot of people may not feel comfortable for others to know that they've got extension in their hair, or that their hair is fake and stuff like that. So it is always my end goal to make sure that I braid the hair as natural as possible. So this is just my technique. I have other video tutorials with other clients with similar condition and different hair texture and the same hairstyle as well. So you can go and check out my playlist, short hairstyles. So if you go into my playlist and you look for short hairstyles, you will see a lot more tutorials on this method, and you will see how I handle it differently when it comes to different clients, because each man to their own. Each client is a different challenge, and each client is a different technique depending on the hair texture, the hair length, where the hair loss is, etc. Sometimes it depends on the hairline, etc. Right? So every client is not the same. Every client is different. So please go check out that playlist so you can see me work on other clients. You can see my grip game when it comes to other hair textures and other hair length and different hair loss condition and different scalp condition. Because as I said, when people start to lose their hair, not just guys, to be honest, both male and female, when they start to lose their hair in certain area, that area becomes very, very sensitive. And that's why I said it's best to always practice before applying this technique onto your clients, or whether you're doing it for a friend, or a family or your partner. It's always good, like, just to practice your gripping first, because you can't practice gripping on people as having hair loss issues. You can't. You have to be like very, very sensitive. You have to be ready. Like, you have to know what you're doing. So anyways, I'm kind of just gonna speed through on this side. As I said, I didn't to be honest with you, I wasn't planning to record a full video tutorial. I kind of just wanted to do the before and after result for my social media. And then as I was getting to the center of the head where the problem area was, I was like, you know what, let me just show people how I do this. Let me show them how I apply my technique to make sure that the braids are not too tight in that area, and just to make sure that the grip is firm as well, because with certain hair texture, your grip has to be firm. So I'm just going to be like speeding through on this side, because to be honest, my camera is not even positioned in the right place anyways. So my camera is not even in the right position. So you can barely see what I'm doing over on that side, because I just didn't plan to do it. It was just a last minute decision where I'm like, you know what, let me put the camera up and just show people how I managed to grip, on the crown of this client's hair. And because the hair texture is soft as well, as I said, it's very sensitive and it can slip out very easily. So 2 things I know that I have to do: I have to make sure that the braids are secured properly and that they're firm, and I have to make sure that the grip is not too tight. So that can be challenging if you're not used to braiding on hair that is very thin and soft and straight, such as this. So good so far. The hairstyle is looking good. The client did want the length to be a bit longer, so I've made the length long, because he wanted it to be this long. He wanted that kind of look. And I always say that the pop smoke braids look better when it has some length on the side. So whether you're going for pop smoke, you're going for side braid, side corner, same thing. It just look better when you have like a length on the side. Anyways, guys, if you make it this far to the video, big up on yourself. Yes, you know me, I am a visual learner. So when it comes to like talking you guys through the video, it can be challenging for me because I know what I'm doing and I know that you see what I'm doing. So it's kind of like hard to tell you what I'm doing when you can see what I'm doing, right? So because I'm a visual learner, I am also more of a demonstrator when it comes to teaching. I just feel like if I do it and you see me doing it, then you will know how to do it because that's how I learned. So it's always a challenge when I'm trying to like talk you through the tutorial, telling you what you can already see me doing. So thank you for making it this far. I know that maybe for some people they're wondering why you talking so much, but I am talking this much because when I don't talk, people say that I'm not explaining what I'm doing. And then when I do talk, people like, you talk too much, man. Let me just watch the video. Sometimes I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. Full of style, miss. Grippy, checky, grip. Catchy style, where the muddy chest is sick. Coming like God, bless the fingertip still. Boss a key and roll here, shot still a grip. Grip game. Style sick, you know a grip game. Check the style and the pattern, how it insane. Here could a shot still catch it and no feel pain. Hey, me I beg you check it details. Style sick, you know a grip game. Check the style and the pattern, how it insane. Here could a shot still catch it and no feel pain. Hey, me I beg you check it details. Look how the key and roll neat. Grip game. Look how the parting straight. Grip game. Check your style insane. Where you know a grip game. Me I tell you that. Style tough, style sick. Make your appointment and book your slot quick. If a year too short, you will make it grow quick. Get a year treatment for a good price fit. Style sick, you know a grip game. Check your style and the pattern, how it insane. Here could a shot still catch it and no feel pain. Hey, me I beg you check it details. Style sick, you know a grip game. Check your style and the pattern, how it insane. Here could a shot still catch it and no feel pain. Hey, me I beg you check it details. Get a hair treatment for a good price. So sick with the grip, yeah she do it nice. Key and roll well neat, never too tight. Grip game around the place, now I'm all alive. Style tough, me jade a rich. Grip game and your hairdresser then switch. It don't matter if it ear short, bro, she got grip. Hey, pay the YouTube channel a visit, yeah. Style sick, you know a grip game. Check the style and the pattern, how it insane. Here could a shot still catch it and no feel pain. Hey, me I beg you check it details. Style sick, you know a grip game. Check the style and the pattern, how it insane. Here could a shot still catch it and no feel pain. Hey, me I beg you check it details. Me I beg you check it details. Grip game. Grip game. From you know grip game, me I tell you that.
To actually doing this on such a big platform where I have clients traveling from places like America, Canada, all over Europe, you know. So I have quite the experience with different hair texture, different hair loss condition, different scalp conditions. So I definitely have the experience firsthand to be able to help to find the solution to the hair loss. Anyways, not back to the tutorial. So as you can see, the client's hair is looking very natural. It's hard to tell that there's some extensions inside of it. It looks so natural from the top going down to the sides. Everything just looks so natural, and you can barely see that the client had hair loss to begin with. You know, you see how I was showing you all from the beginning that like that sky view where you saw that big patch in the center of the head. Now you can barely tell that there was a patch there to begin with. So this is really good. And guys, listen, if you don't comment in the comment section like what you want to see more on this channel, your opinion of the video in terms of how it's been filmed, how it's been produced, in terms of speed, lightning. Do you want to see more close-up version? Do you want to see more slower version? Just let me know in the comment section so that I can make better tutorials for you all. Because, you know, I want to make better tutorials, you know, for you guys. I want you guys to learn, you know, whether you're here to learn or you're here to just see the result or just to see how it's done. You know, I want to make better quality, you know, video, because, you know, I want you guys to interact, you know, with the video and just interact with the channel. So don't be shy to drop a comment in the comment section and just let me know what you think. So this is the final result, and I am proud of this, you know, considering how the hair was when I first started. This look so natural, so natural. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Just thank you for your support overall. Thank you guys so much. Look out for my next video next Sunday, because I have something special for you guys. So please subscribe, turn the notification on so you don't miss out on my next post, because, you know, I've got something for you guys that I think that, you know, you're really gonna enjoy watching. So bless up on yourself. One love, enough love.